welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Jenny Lee, and I like to do all things beauty and makeup. I bring you along with me while I get ready for the day, or just like to share with you some new products that I got, expensive ones, cheap ones, even do fun little challenges, who knows. But today, I'm super excited because my mom decided to give me my birthday present early, and we're getting into a whole new level of makeup here with Natasha Denona. I do have a little mini that I got of hers, and I love the little mini, but this one, the love, because I love pinks and purples. I've been wanting it for so long, so she gave it to me, and we're gonna play around with it. I've done some swatches, but I have not done any full looks with her, so this is all gonna be first impressions of what I think about this, which I already know I'm gonna love it, but you never know, I may not. For the price, I better. So I'm so excited. Mom, if you're watching this, thanks again. It means the world to me. I'm super excited. The love is the one that it really called to me. Here, I'll show you actually the inside. And this is the one with the nice casings. I know some of hers had the like cardboard casing. This one has the beautiful, once you see the inside, it's gorgeous if you haven't seen it before. And I love how it has like the red lining. And look at all those colors. Those are just my colors, guys. So let's just get right in. And I thought, for the fun of it, I'm gonna try to use all my makeup that's more luxury. I don't have a lot of luxury makeup, but I'm gonna use more of my high-end things, try to stay away from the drugstore, you know, just to kind of go with the flow, even though I'm all about the drugstore makeup. I mean, of course. But for this video, we're gonna see if we can keep it high-end. So let's jump right into this routine, guys. So we're gonna start with our eyes first today, because I wanna try and do a bold look, even though I don't think these will have a lot of fallout or anything, but I still just wanna get into the eyes, because I really just wanna play with this eyeshadow palette as soon as possible. So, I do not have a high-end or any kind of really fancy concealer or eye primer. I use concealer for eye primers. I'm not really into the eye primer thing. I feel like a concealer works just as good. So I'm just gonna use my Morphe, the white one, because it's what I like to use when I do my eyes first. It just gives you a really good base. So I'm gonna put it on my hand, and then I'm gonna use a concealer brush and apply it to my eyes. Last time I went straight in my eyes with it, I just put way too much. So just using a, I think this is a Morphe, yep, a Morphe concealer brush. I'm gonna take a little concealer and go under my eyes too, like right here, just to give it a little base for when I add the shadows underneath too. I'm going to go into my Ciate powder. It's the Ciate Vacay, Everyday Vacay powder. I use it often. It's white, so that's why I wanna use this one. And I'm just gonna tap it over this to keep it from creasing. And this is because I put that wet concealer, and it will crease, like especially like while I'm doing this side before I get over to this one, I'm already gonna have that crease in place, but with using this powder, that will not happen. So this is an important step, ladies, don't skip it. So in our palette, we're gonna go in with this light pink right here. It's called Valentine, love the name of that. And we're gonna see how well this shows up, and we're gonna just start it as a transition color. But I can already tell it's way more pigmented than I thought it was gonna be. Most like pinks do not like really show up. I always like have a very hard time using them. But this one is, look at that, guys. Wow. Like that's crazy. There's a pink just like this in the James Charles palette. And as soon as I got it, it was the first color I wanted to dive into. And it does not show up. Even if you put white like this, it doesn't really show up. Not like this, girl. Oh my goodness. That was just 3 dips, guys. 3 dips of this light color. Pretty awesome. That looks just so good. So bright for such a light pink. All right, so now that really surprised me. Now we're gonna go in with Intense, which these shadows are very intense so far. And we're just gonna use that to kind of sharpen up the sides real quick. And I'm gonna try to do something a little different here in a little bit. So we're gonna get a little crazy in a minute. And so we're just gonna bring it in the corner just to kind of darken it up just a little bit. And these are very, very buttery. If you're someone who is a beginner with eyeshadows, this actually would be great palettes because they just blend effortlessly. You don't need to be sitting here blending a lot. I mean, I just blend a lot, but you don't need to. I can even blend too much because it's not needed. Now I did feel like her little mini was this good. Maybe it's, but it didn't overwhelm me or, as much as this one is. Like this one's really just doing everything I thought it would. Worth every penny so far. Now, if this bold look I'm doing goes wrong, it's not the palette's fault, it's my fault for trying something crazy. So, disclaimer. So now our next move, I said might be our crazy move. We're gonna take this heart, this beautiful red, and we know this girl's gonna be pigmented, and we're gonna take her in this little part of our eye and this little part of our eye, okay? And we're gonna do that on both sides. And I'm using this little shader. It's very thin, very flat, like perfect for those small little areas. It came in an Ipsy bag and it's called the Color Haas, but find any kind of brush would work that's small like this and skinny. I mean, you could use a fluffy one too, but I just feel like the skinny one's gonna be more precise. I'm just gonna lightly dab to where you wanna mark your area. And you can always go back and, do those fine details later. I'm gonna jump over here. I'll come back and, clean her up and make her all fancy. And I'm gonna take the same red and we're gonna fill in halfway of our under and halfway of our under too. I'm gonna dip back into that light pink, the Valentine, and I'm just gonna, with my fluffy brush, my fluffy crease brush again, it's Morphe, my favorite one, my Morphe 360. I'm just gonna kind of rub this through just to blend it out, get any red that might have went over, clean the line up a little bit. So my little middle right there, I'm gonna add a little more concealer just to give the shadow a little something more to stick to, just to make it pop a little more. Not that these shadows really need that to pop, but we're gonna do it anyway. Make it extra. I'm just lightly kind of tapping that concealer on. And the brush is a little bigger than that space, but that's kind of a good thing. It helps kind of open it up a little bit. And this thing about makeup, you don't want it to be too, even when you're doing a bold look, you still want to soften places where you can. Soften your lines and all that good stuff. Now I keep debating in my head, like literally I've swatched this 5 times, deciding which one I should do on my shade. Now, the Safe Me says I should do Giving. It would match perfectly with my shirt, the look, but the Spontaneous Me wants to do the Pure Love. And I think the Spontaneous side won, and we're gonna do the Pure Love. It's purple, but when I swatch it, it has like these pinky reddy tones. So I think it's gonna look good. So luckily we have nowhere to go if it looks bad. I'm gonna spray my brush with my Morphe setting spray like I always do. And I'm going to use this tiny little shader. See, it's very, very small, a little fluffier than the one I used for the red. And it's a Morphe, I think I already said that. And a little bit in the setting spray. And we're gonna go in with that Pure Love. And it's gonna go right in the center. Ooh, let's hope I'm not making a mistake here. It's a little iffy. All right, now to kind of tie the purple together a little bit and give this look some more intensity, I'm gonna go in with this Commitment. It looks black in the palette, but it's actually like a deep purple. I know, like where can I put this, right? I know that's what you're thinking. Well, I'm gonna smudge it like it as eyeliner kinda, or we're gonna try, like this is all kinda different. Once you get the eyeliner, mascara, all the goods, the face on, it's gonna look better, trust me. Gotta trust the process, guys. So I'm using this Morphe Jeffree Star Brush. I like this one because it's very, very fine. I have another one, it's a little more fluffier. This one's more put together, which is exactly what we need. And I'm just gonna go in the inner corner and try to smudge it for a little bit of an eyeliner effect. And try not to really pull, because you don't wanna pull on your eyes, it causes wrinkles. But I'm just really gonna hold here to kind of make it steady. And do it little by little, like there's no rush, take your time. It's always best to take your time. I'm kind of just going right to where that purple starts. And I'm gonna take a little bit of that purple too and just fine line it right here too. All right, now we're going in with another shade. I know we've used like 122 shades, but here we go for 123. And we're gonna go in with the Giving, because I gotta use her too, you know? And I'm using this, it's a little more of a fluffier brush. It's my Morphe too, but it's a little fluffier than the fine one I did the dark purple with. And with that, and I'm sure you know what I'm gonna do with this, it's gonna go right here. Just, add a little pop. That's gonna be my little brightness. Instead of a highlight, I'm gonna try to do that light pink. Oh, it really pops right there. You can't see so much in the camera, but in my mirror right here, it's looking good. All right, so my next mascara that I have is gonna be my Tarte Man Eater. So that's the mascara we're gonna go in. I like this one. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite. I'm just not the biggest fan of the wand. But the last time I used it, I liked it better than I did the beginning. I noticed the more my mascaras kind of marinate in there, the more I like them, especially with these like scratchy ones. I'm just not a big fan of them. You know, they're like more like a comb versus a brush. I like the brush, but I mean, it is a good mascara. So we're gonna go in with this guy. And get the little under guys too. Can't leave them out. So after my mascara dries, I'll go in with my eyelash curler, but I'm gonna let it, you know, tack up first. I'm gonna use just a little bit of eyeliner just to kind of, just right in there on the bottom, just because I feel like it needs it a little bit. And I don't really have a fancy eyeliner, not in a, one of these anyway. So I'm just gonna use my Wet n Wild. This is the Breakup Waterproof. It's a really good one though, and it's in the black. And just right here. I use so much eyeliner, I just feel it'd be crazy to buy a really expensive one. I'm not saying I wouldn't, just say it'd be crazy. But I've done crazier. Oh yeah, that just really just brought it together, really bolted it up just a little more. All right, so now we're gonna go to the face, which will really bring this look together. So we're gonna go into our primer. The nicest primer I have is gonna be my Cover FX, the blurring primer. So we're gonna go in with that bad boy. We're gonna go in with the Becca foundation, and this is the Becca Ultimate Coverage. I haven't used it in a while. It is a little light, but we can make it work. I don't need much. Actually, it's not really light. It's more of just this yellowy tinge. But once it's all, see, it's just a little different. I'm more of a pink tone, which I'm just now learning that. I've always been like, I have no idea. But I'm more pink tone. You see the pink tones on my skin. And this is definitely more of a yellow. Can't even see like green undertones. But once it all comes together, it looks really good. So don't need too much. It's a good thing about doing your eyes first. You don't need as much product. I'm gonna use my IT Cosmetic foundation brush. Just gonna stipple that in. Always stipple your foundation. Don't ever rub. That's a key to good makeup application with anything, eyeshadow, foundation. You don't need to rub. You always want to tap or swish or, you know, blend, but there's really never any steps where you're rubbing. Make sure you go to that makeup line. You know, it does get in my hair a little bit, but I just take a makeup wipe when I'm done and go wipe it all out. So I don't really worry too much about it right now if it gets in there. Because you don't want to stop too short and then you're gonna, you know, you'll see. So push it in towards that hair and push it down that neck too. And even that ear, especially if your color is way off color, that ear. Because you want everything to match. You don't want like you're wearing some mask. See how nice this foundation brush, sometimes it just works so good. So I'm like flawless. And sometimes I just don't like it. I think it just depends on the foundation. Sometimes I feel like it just makes the foundation too splotchy. They don't sink it in enough. Today it's looking really good. So we're gonna go in with our e.l.f. Camo Concealer, because it's actually my nicest concealer. It was or my most expensive. It was between this one or, I'm trying to think, oh, the nice CoverGirl one, which I really like that one too. But we're gonna go in with this one. I'm just gonna kind of tap it. Sometimes I like make the streaks. This foundation has really already kind of set. I feel it, so if you like, you know, went streaky with it, you'd have problems. And we don't want problems. Not this far in the game. So I don't think I'm gonna use a whole lot of cream products. I might do a cream bronzer. I don't know. I might do a lot of cream products. I felt I'm like, yeah, I say that, but I like my creams. So this is my Real Techniques little beauty blender. Just gonna lightly, ooh, went a little too far up there. I'll have to go fix that. That's why I don't like doing my eyes first. I should have done my foundation and then did my bottom. I noticed a lot of girls do that. Now I know why. So we will go back and fix that in the end. Don't forget to remind me. And I'm tapping that in, and I'm also tapping like around even where I didn't put it to press in that foundation and spread the concealer a little bit there too. I'm just tapping kind of everywhere. Just make sure it's all synced in and See how now with the concealer it's starting to get more natural? Well, kind of. But they added a lot of brightness. Alright, so for our bronzer, my go-to Physicians Formula, I'm starting to realize I have no high-end products except for eyeshadows and foundation. I'm just not one to spend a lot of money on those things, but I will spend a lot of money on my eyeshadows now. A lot of money on them. But I do love to try expensive products. I do need to start, like, you know, trying different things. Or, you know, some more expensive. But, you know, if you can get a good item at the drugstore, why not? Contour like that and make ourselves look goofy for a few minutes. Favorite, NYX Professional. This is a great brush. If you don't have it, go get it. It's perfect for your cream blending. Love it. It's a game changer when you use creams. And just lightly push it out. I have a really tiny nose, so I mainly just contour my nose to add color back to it, not really to make it disappear, which I think it does make it disappear. See how just nicely this blends this out? And don't be afraid to press a little bit. When I first started using like stick products, I couldn't get them to blend. I mean, you do have to use a little pressure. Like painting a canvas. I'm like Bob Ross, but for your face. Instead of happy trees, I create a happy lines or happy eyes. And right now I'm creating happy shadows. And I very much enjoy doing my makeup. It's very relaxing. Not only do I like the look of the makeup, but I enjoyed like the whole process of it. Since we're on this cream road, we're just gonna keep on trucking, and I'm gonna use the Color Pop. I love this. This color, always have to look. It's Mini Me, I should know that by now. And it's just is very pretty. Look how beautifully it matches the eyeballs. Beautifully. Oh wow, that's like such a perfect match. And I know that looks like a lot of blush, but I'm a blush girl. And I like to put some up on the forehead and a little bit up on my nose. I just think that has more of a natural look. I don't feel like you would be just red on your cheeks, but that's just me. Here, let's take our NYX brush again and just very lightly. All right, our last stop on this cream train is going to be our light sticks from ColourPop. And I'm just gonna place a little bit right in here. See that beautiful glow it gives? Gotta love it. A little bit on your nose, a little bit underneath where I put the blush and bronzer. A little bit right there. And I even like to put a little bit right there. And for this, I like to use my Beauty Blender. I don't feel like the NYX, I don't know, I don't like it so much for the cream for this part or the highlight part, so. And I'm barely gonna push that in. I mean, just barely. See how nice that looks? I mean, you can really see the glow, but it's like not that chunky glitter kind of glow. It's just that like gleamy, like dewy look. I love a good like dewy glow. My part is when you go to powder, you often start losing that. And I'm just like, oh, who's gotta have some powder or this makeup will be everywhere. Before I go like set my face sort of thing, I'm gonna go back up here and just kind of touch in my eyes where my foundation kind of got. Don't do so bad right here. more on this side. Just gonna freshen it up a little bit because we want her to pop. Next time I'll know to do the bottom part last though. I just wasn't even thinking. Because I normally don't do my eyes, I mean I do sometimes, not most of the times. Now I'm gonna use my Benefit, it's just a nice little powder brush, and I'm gonna use the Ciate powder to set my face, and I'm gonna lightly set it. I'm trying not to use a whole lot. And then I'm gonna set these areas more or less with my bronzer and some more some more blush. I'm gonna kind of pull up on my forehead. That way it helps kind of smooth out those wrinkles. So the powder will set the makeup out of the wrinkles, kind of like how I did on my eyes, how I set the crease. We're kind of doing the same thing. Because anytime you have creams, foundation, whatever, they're going to set into any kind of crease lines you have. So this is just gonna help a little bit. And the Ciate is a very nice light powder. It's really good for a light set. Now, even though I did do my eyes first, I'm gonna do a light little, not really a baking, well, kind of. I am gonna do a little layer of the powder just to help with the under eye, the wrinkles, and any creasing, you know. It's sure hitting your 30s, girls. We have all these little wrinkles everywhere we gotta be cautious of. I'm just gonna let that sit there just a little bit while I touch up my bronzer. So, of course, I'm gonna use my Too Faced Natural Face. This would be my nicest bronzer and blushes that I have. And this is a very nice, like 3-in-1 palette. I think everyone should own one. And we're gonna go in, I'm actually gonna do the Tropic Like It's Hot. We're just gonna go straight into that one today. And I'm using actually this really nice, it's a Complex Culture brush, very fluffy, a great fluffy contour brush. And just lightly in that shade, tap her off. And once again, just press. Press up here. Here I do rub a little bit. Rub and press. Just gonna make that jaw. She's already kind of slender, but we slender in a little more. By that nose. And then also when I go to brush that powder off, it'll help kind of blend out that contour too. Or that bronze. It's more bronzy than contour. And the difference between contour and bronze, I never knew for the longest time. I'm like, you're using bronzer for both. What is the difference? Well, usually your contour is a matte shade, and then your bronzer can have like the shimmers, the glow. I'm using, it's a shimmery one, but kind of my cream one was my contour, and this would be more my bronze. I'm gonna go ahead and dust that powder off. And see how it helps just blend the bronzer? Oop, went up in my eye. For my blush, I'm just gonna use this Luxie. It says it's like a small contour blush, but I think it'll appear perfect to get just right in there. And I'm gonna go in with this pinky. See, it's perfect once again for my look, and it's Pink Wink. And just kind of brighten up what we already got there. See how well that ColourPop cream, like you almost don't even need to touch it out. A lot of cream blushes do not like hold the pigment like that. So that's a must. And I think it was $8. You can't beat that, that's cheap. Might have been cheaper than that, I really don't remember, but it was not much more than that. And I hit my nose again, and a little bit on my forehead. And this has a little bit of a shimmer to it, this blush. It's a very pretty blush. And it very complements these shadows. Now for my highlight, instead of using the highlight that came in that palette, I'm actually going to use my Madison Miller Ofra highlight, and it's in the shade SeaShimmer. I think this will just go perfect with it. And Ofra is a very good brand. And I'm just gonna use my finger right now, and then I'll go in with, look at that. You see that highlight? This highlight's bomb. It's blinding. And if you notice, I'm going more towards the back part, not so much in here. The more you put it, it can really accent your pores. So if you have really large pores, which I do, you do want to be careful with putting where you put your highlight, because highlights are very bad at making those pores stand out. You would think it'd be the opposite, but it's not. So I'm gonna now use my highlight brush. So I like to put them on with my fingers first. They just apply better. It's like when you put your shadows on. Actually, I think that highlight would look really nice on top of this shadow. I'm gonna put just a tad. You see that? Oh yeah, look how pretty that looked. See, I just gave it just a little hint of a glow. Looks so good. All right, so I'm gonna get a makeup wipe and I'm gonna wipe all the makeup out of my hair, curl my eyelashes, and I'll be right back with you to do my lips. All right, lip time. So I'm gonna go in with this lip pencil. It's the Bodyography and it's the color Pouty. It's kind of like a pinky nude, I would say. Or more like a rose pink is what I think of this color. I'm just gonna kind of lightly line them. Don't really overline my lips. I feel like I just look weird when I do that. Which everyone else looks really good. When I see people line their lips, I think it looks really pretty. I just don't think it does on me. And then for the lip color, I'm using, it's the Clinique and it's called Raspberry Glace, not glaze. And I love it because it has like this little core center. I don't know, this is one of my favorite lipsticks actually. And it is just a little sample. I need to get this in the full size because I've been loving it. See how pretty that is? I feel like little samples are a good way to try like a high-end foundation, lipstick, anything that costs a little money like that. It's a nice way to try them before you invest that coin into it. All right, and just one last final step. This isn't high-end or anything, but it's new, and it's the Lifter Gloss from Maybelline. I saw it and I thought it was really pretty. It has kind of like a nice vanilla-y smell to it. Look at the really fancy tubing. It's so fancy. It's just for drugstore. It's really nice. So I'm just gonna put barely any, just a little gloss it up. And this has hyaluronic acid, except that word right, which is supposed to, add moisture, hydration. And look how glossy and pretty that looks. All right, last step is just a little setting spray. I'm gonna use my Morphe, the Luminous one. This is my favorite guy. Just take in the aroma. I feel like it's like that peace and tranquil moment when I spray that. All right, we're all finished. This is the look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It turned out really pretty. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave in the comments some videos that you'd like to see in the future, any makeup items, makeup looks you would love to see, just let me know. Until then guys, I'll see you later.